rivers are running low, they're having a problem with those shipments. It just exacerbates the crisis all over again.
The unexpected is beginning to happen, as reports show that residents of several villages are preparing to move from their ancestral lands due to water scarcity and the unsustainability of the agriculture on which they depend. There were persistent rumblings that the Euphrates River was on the verge of drying up, which gave cause for concern. And according to recent reports, the river has finally dried up, leaving many displeased. If this is true, what exactly could be the reason for this? Could this be something to do with the end time, as predicted in the Holy Book? Come along to demystify this terrifying subject. Today's communities currently rely heavily on rivers, but early agrarian cultures relied on them far more. Because of this, it's not surprising that many of humanity's earliest and greatest civilizations emerged near major rivers. The Great Euphrates River, together with its sister channel, the Tigris, is the principal river valley in what is now the Middle East. This valley allowed the ancient civilizations of Sumer and Mesopotamia to flourish and grow. The Euphrates is the longest river in the whole region of the Middle East. Originating in southeast Turkey, it flows north across middle Syria and then over Iraq. The Euphrates and Tigris rivers converge around 150 to 200 miles northwest of the Persian Gulf to create Shatt al-Arab, which ultimately empties into the Gulf. Dams constructed along the Euphrates in the last 50 years have tamed its water and made it less likely to cause floods in the surrounding area. Artifacts from the 7th millennium BCE attest to the prevalence of less stressful lifestyles during that time. Ancient irrigation channels were created from the Euphrates to these agricultural villages in the 6th millennium BCE. In the early 4th century BCE, the first cities sprung up in response to the economic prosperity of the old agricultural villages. According to Genesis chapter 2, verse 14, the Euphrates is one of the 4 rivers that originate in the Garden of Eden and make their way across the world. The river that emerges from the garden eventually becomes the Pishon, the Gihon, and the Tigris. One of the limits of the country God promised to Abraham and his offspring was the river of the same name. Its name appears hundreds of times throughout the scriptures. The biblical writings of Joshua, Isaiah, and Jeremiah are only a few examples where the Euphrates is referenced. The Euphrates comes from the Semitic root meaning to burst out, which is fitting given the river's origins. Although the word's literal meaning is unclear, it is often understood to refer to a river. The term means liquid bursting out in its literal sense. The Hebrew Bible often uses the Euphrates River as a dividing line between those who belong and those who don't. For instance, in Genesis chapter 15, verse 18, God gives Abraham a covenantal pledge of land, and that area is described as having the river Euphrates as its eastern border. This can also be seen in Joshua chapter 1, verse 4. The Euphrates River serves as both a symbolic and literal dividing line between Solomon's promised and reality realms, seen in 1 Kings chapter 4, verses 21 through 24. As a means of reuniting with his family and evading his uncle, Jacob takes his new family and travels across the Euphrates to live with his parents and brother in Genesis chapter 31, verse 21. The Euphrates is a literary boundary that separated the exiles from their country after the Babylonian exile. Occasionally in the Bible, the Euphrates is referred to as the river. This is clearly seen in Joshua chapter 24, verse 3, and Ezra chapter 4, verse 10. The Euphrates River is a biblical landmark and an important resource for the Middle East, since it flows from Turkey through Syria and Iraq, a region historically known as the Fertile Crescent. The Euphrates River has significantly decreased its water level over the last several years. Several remnants and a cave were discovered when the Euphrates River seemed to be drying up. Some have cited the drying riverbed as proof that we are living in the end times. The Potamos Euphrates in the Middle East is predicted to run dry in the near future, ushering in the Battle of Armageddon as described in the book of Revelation. According to the King James Version, KJV, the sixth angel poured his vial into the large river Euphrates, drying up its water so that the path of the eastern kings might be cleared. There have been numerous old finds that have astonished the globe as it has dried up. In a recent video, a guide demonstrates the Euphrates River's drastically decreasing water flow. In recent years, the river has nearly totally dried up. Moreover, he demonstrated an old tube that descends into the earth, revealing an underground complex with a well-designed building and well-preserved, well-ordered staircases. But who is responsible for constructing all of this? A few individuals claim that this is a historical artifact that has survived until the present day. However, there is a myth among the locals that this tunnel leads to the place where the angels are imprisoned. As stated in Revelation, chapter 9, verse 14 of the Bible, the sixth angel with the trumpet was instructed to loose the four angels chained in the great river Euphrates. There have been rumors of sounds coming from the caves underneath the Euphrates River, which have been speculated to be the sounds of fallen angels. The dam construction on the Euphrates River has been a contention between Turkey and Syria. Dams built on the rivers may affect the nations in their downstream paths. The completion of Turkey's Ataturk Dam in 1992 has been cited as a major source of conflict. It's the biggest dam in Turkey, producing a lot of hydroelectric power. However, it has also significantly altered the Euphrates' downstream flow, raising worries in Syria. The Topkapı Dam in Syria was finished in 1973 and has been a source of conflict ever since. Dams built downstream of the Ataturk Dam have also altered the river's course. Because of the possible effects on agriculture and other industries, Turkey and Syria have been at odds over water management since the dams were built. There have been attempts at negotiation between the two nations to manage their shared water resources, but the outcomes have been uneven. Southeastern Anatolia Project, or GAP for short, is a development initiative in Turkey with the overarching goal of fostering economic and social growth in that part of the nation. This project, which has been ongoing since the 1980s, has several applications beyond only the creation of hydroelectric power, including irrigation, agriculture, and industry. Building bridges, roads, and homes are considered part of this category. GAP intends to raise local living standards and quality of life by expanding economic possibilities and fostering social growth. Several complaints have been made in recent years regarding low water levels in the Euphrates. The following are examples of occurrences that might be used to support such a claim. The water level in the Euphrates dropped to its lowest level in over 20 years in 2016, according to the Turkish State Hydraulic Works, DSI. Areas of Turkey, Syria, and Iraq suffered as a result of the resulting drought and water shortages. As part of its plans to construct dams and reservoirs on the Euphrates, Turkey was accused by the Syrian government of decreasing the river's flow in 2008. This resulted in crop failures and other economic effects in Syria and Iraq due to a lack of water. The confluence of circumstances including drought, overuse, and the building of dams and reservoirs upstream caused the water level in the Euphrates to drop to a record low in 2020. Already tense ties between Turkey, Syria, and Iraq took a turn for the worse as each nation accused the others of mishandling the river's resources. The water level in the Euphrates continued to drop in 2021, which exacerbated water shortages and heightened tensions between the nations that depend on the river. It is important to remember that drought and seasonal shifts have always had a role in the Euphrates' water levels fluctuate. Unfortunately, low water levels in the river have had serious consequences for the area in recent years. The Euphrates River has experienced periods of low flow due to a combination of factors, including climate change, drought, and overuse of water resources. Climate change has led to more frequent and severe droughts in the region, which have reduced the amount of water available in the river. In addition, the river's water is heavily utilized for irrigation and other purposes, which has reduced the amount of water that flows downstream. The construction of dams and other water management infrastructure upstream has also played a role in reducing the flow of the river. Though fallen angels are said to be imprisoned there, this is purely a matter of interpretation and belief. No scientific or historical evidence supports the idea that fallen angels are imprisoned beneath the Euphrates. It is not uncommon for the flow of the Euphrates River to vary over time due to various factors such as drought, water usage, and seasonal changes. However, it is important to note that the drying up of the Euphrates River would have significant consequences for the millions of people who depend on it for irrigation, drinking water, and other uses. It is also an important habitat for various plant and animal species. We've come to the end of this video. Let's know what your thoughts are in the comment section below on the drying up of the Euphrates River. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and tell others about it too. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Also, do well to check similar videos on our channel. Take care. See you in the next one.